Did we have to dismantle the only available high-tech police air wing chopper for VIP treatment while bandits are having a field day in the North Rift because police is under-resourced? Am I the only one realizing that vocal leaders that normally defend William Ruto's presidency, or rather William Ruto's reign, are all silent over the North Rift bandit issue? Just recently, bandits even had the audacity to go to rescue one of their commanders who was allegedly, who played victim as if he was a victim of the war, but then he was released from Iten hospital. Something is simply not adding up. Welcome to the bold analysis. In this chopper saga, we have a movie. I know you've listened to this analysis quite a number of here and there, but I've also taken time to put pieces together and to join the dots. So kindly make sure you watch to the end. It will be interesting so that you really know what is happening behind the curtain. Immediately, Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto were sworn in office. And that was on 26th September, the 13th September. The next action was, what do I need for my office? Apart from increase in budget, Rigathi Gachagua is reported to have asked the Kenya Air Force for a chopper to use for his private and official duties as a deputy president. But since the military did not have a chopper, they asked the office of the deputy president to head direct to the police and ask for one from the police. Then in October, the head of public service, Felix Kosgei, asked Hilary Mutyambai, who was the then IG, to hand Rigathi Gachagua one of the two AW139 choppers, helicopter, to the Air Force for use by Gachagua. So the police were to hand over a chopper to the Air Force side so that it can be used by Rigathi Gachagua. Remember, I've said there are two. So one was to be given. But then there was another stalemate. There's a voice of reason. The police said that military demanded that police hand them a chopper that was factory setted, had a factory setting made for surveillance, despite the fact that there was another chopper that was available for VIP. So there are two choppers. One is already for surveillance, exclusively for security operations by the police. But there is another one that is for VIP. But the military demanded that they want that one with the surveillance. Of course, because it was the military, so they wanted to maybe use it for that. Question emerged at that level. Why didn't the Rigathi Gachagua team just accept to pick the other chopper that was available, that was for VIP, and leave that one for the police, the air wing police? But then things did not end there. I want to tell you why the police are actually annoyed about this matter. Kindly subscribe to our channel, and at this juncture, let me start by saying thank you very much for those who are supporting our fundraiser. We are doing a 1-week fundraiser for a couple that are struggling. The wife is in hospital, is detained for over a bill of 80,000, and also the family is kind of grounded because the husband also no longer goes to work. The wife delivered, and there was a complication. There was tear that brought more bleeding, and more services, extensive medical services was needed, and then the bill ballooned to 80,000. She's detained in Kenyatta Hospital. We have the ambition that as Bold Family, next week on Monday, we are going to release her. So the 50 bob challenge, the latest that you can get, will help in making this a long way. I'm also feeling like we also need to, if you can get something more, it will be better, so that the husband gets a motorbike. he seems to have lost his job, the one he was using. Ladies and gentlemen, the police is disappointed by two things. Number one, the job that they were denied, the job that was taken from them had security infrastructures or high-tech infrastructure. Then these tech instruments, immediately it was given to Gachagua, they were dismantled. Remember, this is taxpayers' money. Number one, they're saying there was one available that Gachagua would have used. Maybe they declined. Number two, you took one that was already well equipped with cameras and high-tech equipments for security surveillance. And the one that you took, you dismantled those things, even though those are things that costed taxpayers' money close to 1.3 billion. You can make your guess. Now, so what happened? What exactly happened? I want you to check this chopper. This is 5YDIG. This chopper is the one that before, this is the chopper that was being used. This is the chopper that was given to Rigathi Gachagua. And you know, Mutyambai did not have any option but to give. So when he gave that chopper, it was changed and then it became NASAD. So I'll show you the two. What happened? The choppers, helicopters were grounded for inspection, of course, because Meharibika, something like that. So there was the other chopper that also in the same caliber, but all of them were grounded. But what is shocking is the way that snatch was done. I understand by there exclusively that it was picked from police hangar at night and engineers outsourced from Egypt to come and work on it, despite the fact that even in the country here, there are well qualified engineers that are actually working on helicopters. But that job was given to some outsiders. But clearly it was to make sure that it is a highly confidential affair. To make sure that it's highly confidential, because in the moment, if it would be given to any other person around, maybe would have taken photos when it's being dismantled, or that information would have leaked out to the public and would have caused an uproar. So they decided to import those who would configure that chopper, despite the fact that there are people who are well qualified that could do that job. So when it was configured, it became this. Look this image. This is the chopper Gachagua used akienda to inspect a stadium in Embu. So the other chopper I was showing you is this, what you are seeing now. If you saw there is what is recent NASAD. So let me tell you what's happening with the NASAD. Uhuru Kenyatta launched somebody known as National Air Support Department. National Air Support Department was launched as a body, or rather one that would help. It was launched by Uhuru to centralize management of aviation assets for maximum use. Now, initially what used to happen was Kenya Forest, Kenya Wildlife, Kenya Power, Kenya Pipeline, and those other government parastatals and parastatals and agencies used to make NYS. They used to make their own arrangements to maintain their choppers, the aviation assets, the national aircrafts. They were being maintained individually, but even though NYS had the structures, or rather the resources, let's say NYS were to be maybe maintained by NYS, but you have to go and pay. So Uhuru Kenyatta realized, let's centralize it, so that this body is the body that then manages all the national aircrafts. So that one that was taken from the police was brought in this. Uda then decided that all those would be consolidated under this. However, it became ineffective because, you know, when all that money was poured to the National Air Support Department, it's for overall use of all. But by the time Kenya Police had their own air wing, They were getting funding and they will then make or rather maintain their own choppers. As we talk, Kenya Pipeline seems to be bolting out. Kenya Power is also out. They're leaving that NASAD and other. I think I was reading it's only Kenya Wildlife that is still there. I think Wildlife and Forest Service is still there. But different entities are actually leaving. So, what we are saying here is it's a clear grab. If you ask me, it's a clear grab. That is why leaders know very well that there are quite a number that are responsible for some of the mess that is going in this country. And that's why people are quiet, completely quiet about North Rift. The North Rift is crying that help us, we are going through problems. But people are quiet because people are responsible. Now on this, there is that which you can clearly see here. If we could take a chopper that was to be used by the police for surveillance, let me just read for you some of the qualities of that chopper that was dismantled and given to Rigathi. Said that chopper was mainly used for rescue operations, crew change in Boni Forest, surveillance, especially the bandits. Media reports that chopper was fitted with high-tech cameras that can locate bandits and communicate to real-time for reinforcement. Now, this is what is going on. That chopper was ikiwa huko juu. First, it's all weather, so it can go night and day. So when it's up there, it can locate people down there and communicate to two stations, Mombasa and Nairobi. So it was purely for security. But now that if we took it away, it is true to say that the police is under-resourced in terms of this. Is under-resourced. And that's why even fighting bandits is becoming a tall order. I just had a wild discussion. Someone was saying, instead of giving it to Rigathi, you would have given it to someone like Kindiki. Because Kindiki is in that department and is in that ministry. It's very easy for it to be used for security operations, maybe rescue operations. Unlike when it is with Rigathi, with the deputy president, who has a different schedule that must not conform with what the ministry is doing. So, if you look at it, you'll realize that it borders under-resourcing. Why they insisted that we are going to take it. They are going to take it even though there were other options on table. That is what I call grabbing culture. I don't know what's your wording. Maybe I'm not getting the right word for it. I see some grabbing culture as the order of the day. And grabbing is what is bringing pilferage. Do you know that, how do you define someone saying, give me more money in my office, while he's crying that economy is dilapidated? Someone saying, I want you to change my chairs, change my tables, change my laptop, change everything. There is a bit of a grabbing culture, and people don't want to follow the bureaucracy. In fact, with the advent of the new office, because you ask yourself a simple question, huh? The son of Madeira, a truthful man, was not the first deputy president. The current president was a deputy president. So which chopper did William Ruto use? But then someone should tell us, huh? If you're privy, which chopper did Ruto use? Why didn't he just take over that one that Ruto was using so that Ruto uses the one that Uhuru was using? Even before fallout, they were there. Uhuru and Ruto were together. Which ones were they using? So that instead of doing something that would have cost days, they would have just picked it without bothering others. Uhuru transition from Uhuru regime was fragile and deliberately not managed well. It borders transition. police tried to even leaking this information to media. At least they leaked it out. It will cause uproar. Wapi. That transition, that because in that transition there is pilfering. Kitu imeharibika. A chopper that was supposed to be used in security has gotten itself in the hands of VIP. It's because that transition was not well managed, partly because of hostility against the previous administration. And I think when UDA came, they demonized everything that Uhuru was doing as wrong. So because of that just belittling everything that Uhuru Kenyatta did, it kind of affected that transition. And it doesn't look good. I don't know. Rigathi is having a close coordination, bromance, a close dalliance with IG Comey. And IG Comey is head of the National Police Service. And I remember during Maandamano Mondays by Azimio la Umoja, they even met and they were so much coordinated. I am looking at a possibility here that this was a direct stab at Kindiki's reign in the police department, the police sector. It's a direct stab on Kindiki's scorecard. I'm telling you. The moment we'll push Kindiki to give us answers about North Rift, these are going to be the kind of stories that the media will be publishing. What's your thoughts? That's my take. Thank you very much for watching. This is the video of Stephen explaining about wife's situation. Kindly let's try and let's help. And though by the end of the week, we shall achieve at least to namtoa hospitali, and pia we make sure the husband gets a motorbike. Thank you. Okay. Stephen, you told me that your wife has a challenge. It's not someone, it's someone detained in the hospital, okay?
Yeah.
Can you take us through what exactly happened, or where did it start?
Okay, this started after my wife gave birth at Pumwani Hospital.
Date?
On date 20th February. So after she gave birth, mtoto alikuwa nursery after 5 days. So after 5 days from nursery, we went back home. We were just home, things were well. After some few weeks, then wife got complications. Alianza kubleed, mysteriously bleeding, and I was shocked. Ran out to call the doctor, and the doctor told me to bring the lady in the hospital.
Wapi? Unaishi wapi?
Okay, naishi Dandora.
Okay.
Phase 5.
Okay.
So daktari alijaribu, akashindwa. The lady was seriously bleeding. Akaniambia nitafute taxi to rush mgonjwa Kenyatta. Nikafanya hivyo, tukafika Kenyatta. Wakati nilifika Kenyatta, mama alikuwa admitted. Na from hapo, so
alikuwa admitted sasa Kenyatta.
Alikuwa admitted Kenyatta hospital.
Na wakati alikuwa admitted the child now but the child
okay,
the child is fine
by the time,
but then this is the child,
yeah,
and
this is my baby.
This is your baby, and
yeah.
Ni baby and
baby boy to Jason.
Oh good, even my son was born in February. So now where are you from first?
Okay, right now I'm from the Kenyatta Hospital. Nilipeleka mtoto kunyonya, and that is how I always do it. Nampeleka ananyonya, namrudisha kwa nyumba.
Unampeleka kila siku?
Daily.
In the morning ama unakana the whole day?
No. I nampeleka in the evening. In the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then sasa sasa ukitoka unaenda tu mnalala.
Sasa nikitoka naenda kwa nyumba. So nikiwa pale kwa nyumba, mtoto ana survive na maziwa ya kuchemsha. Nachemsha, naongeza maji kidogo. And that's it.
Wow. You've really impressed me. How about the child? Yeah, alikuwa sawa hata wakitoka Pumwani?
Okay, mtoto wakati tulikuwa tunatoka Pumwani, mtoto since alikunywa ile amniotic fluid, ile uchafu. So mtoto amekuwa na shida hiyo ya kungorota, anangorota. Ni kama anafungana hewa.
Okay.
So doctors gave me some medicine ile ya kudrop kwa mapua wakati anatoa hiyo sauti. So hiyo ndo nimekuwa nikitumia, but still at times nasikia anatoa hiyo sauti kama
hata sasa nasikia na
hata sasa. Yeah.
What did the doctors in Kenyatta say was the problem?
Doctors in Kenyatta waliniambia mama wakati alizaa kuna vile mtoto alimrarua, they got a tear. So walimshona, alienda theater wakamshona.
Na alizaa normal?
Alizaa normal.
Na tear. Okay. So, anafaa show me or something. Okay. Yeah. We may not understand because we don't have a lady here.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was what was bringing the complication about the bleeding.
Yeah.
Guys, I was told this, and I really got touched by his story, Stephen's story. You know, when he was telling me you were in Kenyatta, and I was like, okay, what's going on? So it's been there for how many days?
Since date second.
Date second.
Yeah.
The bill is
80,000.
80,000.
Yeah.
Wow. But then now that you take care every evening, when do you go to work now? Do you even go to work now that?
No. Okay. About my work, I'm a boda rider. Na pikipiki naendesha ni ya mtu na ni ya loan. So wakati nilikuwa na hii shida, pikipiki ilibidi tu iendelee kufanya kazi sababu inalipwa daily. So mwenyewe alichukua na alitafuta mwingine aendelee.
Oh, so what you normally your work is kuendesha boda?
Yes.
So because of this, that is you can. But then how do you survive? Okay, you should not ask that. So should get. What is the terms of the loan? How much do you pay to get a pikipiki and loan so that you pay pole maybe?
Okay, for now, loan walipandisha nini deposit. Kwa saa hii deposit ni 25,000.
Okay. Then so if you get 25,000,
yes,
you go and pay, and you're given a motorbike on loan.
Yeah.
Then you pay is the rest in installments.
Yeah.
Which you can manage.
I can manage to get 500 per day.
You unapata endesha around Dandora.
Yeah.
Wow. Guys, I brought Stephen here because I wanted us to get feel of this story, and this is one we can do this. We've always done this. This is 80,000. Today's date 14. If you give yourself 1 week, Friday. Yeah, so let's try. Let's do a 50 shillings challenge. I've decided not to. I'm going to share the number, nobody's number, because of a bit of that disturbance. But I am also asking those who can be willing to reach out to me. My number is there. I'll directly connect you with him so that whichever God has blessed you with, at least I talk. So Mama amekaa hospitali for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you guys are young couples, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, and may God bless you for being a father to this child. I know it's really touching. It's really touching the heart, and I believe that as Bold family, this will come to an end. I know we will find a way. Okay.
I appreciate it.
Sawa. Asante. Aya.